We told you there's a demonstration that is ongoing, and it's been organized by the coalition. And Bernard Mona is the main convener alongside some others. Nancy Emefa has been on grounds, Kwame Nkrumah Circle or Interchange, the Obra Sport, and has been bringing us the latest. She early on came through some great highlights, speaking to some of the demonstrators and also getting to know their mission, the rationale, the reasons why they are there. And we also want to go back to that because today also, right here on the show, we'll be talking about some of the incidents that have been witnessed in Parliament. Ghana's Parliament has witnessed some incidents, especially just on Wednesday. The Speaker ushering out the Member of Parliament for Tamale North, Al-Hassan Suhuyini, for what he said was unruly behavior. And subsequently also we've had some level of concerns being raised following that by-election. Subsequently the swearing in of the member of the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency, Lydia Al-Hassan. And some concerns have been raised so far. So we'll be having into the studios being streamed. We have Dr. Rashid Draman, and he is an expert on parliamentary democracy and practice and ethics and ethos. And more so, we're going to have legal practitioner Martin Pebu right here. And we'll discuss many other things because there are things that we need to focus our eyes on. But we also know that the demonstration is a fallout of that violent brutality that was meted out to people, mainly supporters of the NDC and other voters that were recorded just a week ago, and we brought you that live report as well. But we'll go back to Nancy Emefa bringing us the latest from the ground where the demonstration is going. They call it the AAGBE demonstration. Well, so let's also bring you up to speed before we go to the Kwame Nkrumah Circle or Interchange, the latest traffic watch as well. We started from traffic.com.gh. We start with Ring Road Central. Let's bring you some of it. It looks like the traffic is building up gradually. Usually we'll reach a certain crescendo in the next 15 to about 30 minutes. And that's the latest we're bringing to you from the Ring Road Central area. That main route will lead to some of the connecting ends in the city. Again, let's get see traffic.com.gh. And then we have to bring you some of the subsequent routes. Let's go to the beginning of the Tema Accra motorway. We go to the Tema end, and this is where construction is ongoing. It's part of the whole Tema expansion port project. And subsequently, we've had extreme traffic being witnessed around 7:45, 8 o'clock. So if you know that you want to use this route, you have to make sure that you set off early, because you look at the other end, and this one is coming from the Dowenya end right through to those who want to go to Accra and then Tema subsequently. Traffic seems to be building up gradually. And we'll make sure that we'll bring you the rest subsequently. Again, if you want to get the latest throughout the rest of the day, it is traffic.com.gh. But we also have to give you the latest happening from the airport city area, and it's where you have the cameras overseeing the airport shell, and this is the state of traffic currently. If you know you want to use this route, you have to do that now, because it's now in moderation, so you can have the routes as far as the traffic congestion is watered down, and you can just use this route. That's a good insight if you want to meander your way through the city. Now, before we go, we'll also touch base with the Bema Camp Gifford Road, and we'll bring you the latest and get to gauge. And this is it. So for those who are coming into Accra, you see that the traffic has built up. Yes, so that's the current state as it is. And for those also heading towards the Spinters end, the traffic seems to be on the high side. And this is a route, if you're going from Spinters to Accra to Bema Camp to Laboni, etc., you can go through the side of the road that is not traffic congested. And it also means that you can use this to link to 37, you can use this to link to Labadi, Cantonment, the Trade Fair area. You're all good to go. I'm talking about traffic. Many of these travelers going to various destinations also had to go through many areas, including Tetekwashi. And Tetekwashi currently, there's a current state of traffic, is built up massively, and showing especially those coming from the East Legon route, or more so the University of Ghana route, more so the Medina Zongo Junction, and those coming from Adenta, Oyibi, Otinibi, Amrahia, etc., or Dodowa. This is the state of traffic. It's really congested. And so just like we showed you, if you had gone in earlier, 30 minutes before now, you would have been in a position to avoid this route. Those also coming from the Tema area using the Tema-Accra motorway also are facing some bit of traffic as they have to go down to join that main stretch where we have the congestion from the University of Ghana route heading towards Shiashi, and then we go to the airport end. So traffic well built up, congestion high, Tetekwashi. Well, it's on ketsytraffic.com.gh. So you know where the one-stop shop is for you to get the latest traffic information. But right here on the AM show, each morning we'll do that 2-3 times a day when we have the time to give you the latest. But let's head to the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, where Nancy Emefajradosi is a lead correspondent at the AAGBE demonstration.
And that we're going to police all the routes with zeal, and that it is our humble request to the demonstrators that they all live within the confines of the law. One, we have a dual responsibility here. We ourselves ensuring that we stick to lay down procedures in line with public order management, and also managing the crowd or the demonstrators. Thirdly, we also like to appeal to the leadership of the inter-party demonstration group to also police themselves and to control their members to ensure that together we succeed. We are determined that the police will not do anything outside lay down procedures.
But initially there was a confusion about the route to use, and I'm asking you whether you have finally reached an agreement.
As public managers in respect of public demonstrations, we have revised some aspect of our notes to ensure that the demonstration takes place peacefully without let or hindrance.
Thank you.
Well, so we have Bernard Mona going to speak to Nancy Emefajradosi, who is a lead correspondent at the AAGBE demonstration. It's been convened by the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy, and very soon we'll bring you some heads up as to what currently is happening as well. We know that they are protesting the incidents that led to brutalities to members of the public, also many people believed to be members of the NDC at last week's Ayawaso West Walk-on by-election. We brought to you live many of those incidents and subsequently the discussions that followed just a week ago. And just in case you want to get interactive, please, you can do so on Facebook, JoyNews on TV. We also have an interactive platform on Twitter at JoyNews on TV. Currently, you can watch us live. We have My Joy Online TV, which is our regular channel on YouTube, and you can watch us live on myjoyonline.com. But for all the things that have been talked about this morning, the AAGBE demonstration is being convened by the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy. And let's get to know what you think about the demonstration being convened by the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy, and more so what you think about all the actions that have been taken, because already we know that there's been a formal statement, and of course we've discussed it right here on Joy News, from the presidency. It's been signed by the spokesperson for the presidency, Eugene Ahin, and it states about commissioners who have been composed in a commission to investigate this, and they are giving us all the indication, because there's a 3-member commission of inquiry that has been set up so far by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to look into what happened at the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election. And the commission is composed of Justice Emil Short as chairperson, who was a former commissioner for Shraj. We also have Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, who's a member but also of the law faculty, the University of Ghana. Patrick K. Champon, a former IGP, is also a member of the commission. And among other things, we'll tell you what the terms of reference of that commission is. And then they have a secretary, Ernest Kofi Abochi, a former dean of the Faculty of Law, GIMPA, and a private legal practitioner. He's been appointed as secretary to the commission. But among the terms of reference include to make full, faithful, and impartial inquiry into the circumstances of and establish the facts leading to the event and associated with the violence that was recorded in the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-elections on the 31st of January 2019. Again, we have to tell you, we brought you incidents of the reported brutalities live from the Ayawaso West Wuogon when it took place just a week ago, last Thursday. And also the commission is expected to identify any person responsible for or who has been involved in the event associated violence and injuries. The commission is also expected to inquire into any matter which the commission considers incidental or reasonably related to the causes of the event and the associated violence and injuries. Okay, so and following all these incidents, of course, leading to the setting up of the commission by the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we found the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy convening this. The main convener is Bernard Mona, but our lead correspondent on the ground at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle or Interchange is Nancy Emefajradosi. She's been doing some tremendous work since the early parts of the show, 6 a.m. as it was. And she spoke to a number of personalities, including the Director of Operations for the Accra Police Command, and Kwesi Ofori had been speaking to us early on. But Nancy is also ready on stream to bring us the latest from the Kwame Nkrumah Interchange. Just round this you, it's the AAGBE demonstration, and it's being convened by the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy.
People are joining this demonstration. I have been able to speak to the police already. They are saying that, well, they have been able to reach an agreement, even though we don't know which routes they are going to be using. I'll try and speak to the organizer. I've seen the convener of this group, Bernard Mona. I'll be speaking to him shortly, but let me get to speak to the people on the ground to find out from them, really, why they decided to leave the comfort of their rooms. In fact, when I came very early, at around 5:30, there were some individuals that I spoke to. They were coming from as far as the eastern region and also the western region. That should tell you how, you know, they want to they are taking this. But let me try and just try and speak to some of them around. Thank you very much, sir. Are you also from Accra or are you from another region?
Oh, I'm from Accra.
From Accra. Why did you decide to leave your job today to come and demonstrate?
It's our right to demonstrate, because the way the country is going right now, we are not happy at all. We are not safe. A lot of things have happened. A lot of people have died. When you ask, they will say they are doing the investigation. They are making a research. None of any person have been arrested. And recently we saw people who have been molested in Ayawaso Wuogon. We don't know how far it will go. So we have to prove to our president that we have to resist any oppressor's rule. He should up his game. Many things are happening. Right now we hear that he have trouble. His children is dying, and he's leaving his children for another country.
So we are pleading with him that the way the country is safe before he came, he should make it like that for us. So we are pleading.
You don't feel safe in Ghana anymore?
We don't feel safe anymore. We don't feel safe anymore. We are pleading with him. This is called AAGBE. In Ghana is this called AAGBE. But if you bring a tree, we say yewu yewu. President, you know, so Ranjina in also. Now, no kasa to 12 for mutiti here, our position, no, and then Omo Satramu, Omo Kasa party no more boom. And no political parties in so say they are bad central for so they say Nimni Besi. And the president, also Ranjina in also. Now, I assume they are what is it? Assume you and what my Yadamasi.
He's from Accra, also part of the demonstrators.
Yes.
Okay.
From Sogakope.
You came all the way from Sogakope to Accra to come and demonstrate. Why?
Yeah, it's very important for me to be here because what is going on, if something is happening to your friend and you think you are not the one, then it's like tomorrow when it comes to your turn, no one will sympathize with you. So I make it as a point to be here today. There are a lot of issues that is going on in this country and people are keeping a bright eye on it. So today, a lot of us were from Sogakope and we are also sympathizers of those who are dying. There are a lot of things, issue concerning this mess goats, saga and those things, or we wanted to add everything and then come and then demonstrate and also sympathize with the people who were molested at Ayawasu West Wagon. So that's why I'm here.
I'm interested. Sogakope is quite a far place. Did you come here on your own? Were you Were you bused from your
I use my own money, everything to come here today. It's not anybody that transported me.
This must be very down on your heart.
This is a serious issue. Some of us, when we are watching the video, we feel like crying. So it's not like anybody who forces us to come, but we come to witness what actually is going to happen here. So it's a serious one.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me try. I'm seeing the inscriptions. Nana is a tyrant. What do you mean?
Nana is a tyrant because whatever happens, the national security minister said that they were his people, and if they were his people, that means the national security minister worked for Akufo-Addo. He was appointed by Nana-Addo. So Nana-Addo is aware about whatever is going on. The investigation that they are setting up is a sham, because the people that they have appointed to chair the presidential commission, they are all MPP appointees. The former IGP, we know, in short, we know where his allegiance is. So Nana-Addo is a tyrant. Nothing good will come out from the presidential commission. It's just a cover-up. It's just a cover-up. Nothing good will come out from it. Nothing good will come out from it. We want the whole world to know that whatever happened at Ayawasu was a plan, well-planned activity, to a well-planned. And the people that caused that atrocity, we have seen pictures of them with the national youth organizer of the party, Samuel Wuku, the national organizer of the party as well. So whatever we mean that Nana-Addo is a tyrant, the evidence are clear for the ordinary Ghanaians to know that he's a tyrant.
So that's his comment, but I've seen that some of the executive have already started moving. I'm going to try and get to speak to, I spotted Madam Hannah Bisiu, but let me just try and get close to her to pick her thoughts on all of this. Thank you very much, Madam Hannah Bisiu. We are live on JoyNews. First of all, I'm interested. Why did you decide? I'm sure that you had other engagements, right? You took time off to come here this morning. Why?
In the first place, because I'm against violence. I'm against state-sponsored criminals. I'm against the state using our taxes to sponsor, equip criminals. I'm all for the state equipping our police so that the raping, the kidnapping, the contract killings and all those things will go off this country. I'm against state-sponsored criminals. I'm against violence. I'm against bloodshed by the state. That is why I'm here. I'm against the formation of terrorists in our country. That's why I'm here. This is how Boko Haram started. We have the police cars were used. We have the police guns were used. It wasn't used by the police. The police who were there did not have arms on them. The police did not have bulletproof. And so all that we are saying is that we are saying no to the formation of terrorist groups. Please, what is happening in this country? You should mark it. If Brian Echampon and the president, they do not stop what they are doing, we are heading for a very troubled nation. And you see, they are forming them. I'm a vet, so I always use the analogy of a dog who has been trained to bite, and then the owner prevents that dog from biting. They tend to bite the owners. When you keep Rottweilers and you make them aggressive, when they go hungry, they attack the owners. And so what that we are saying is that stop equipping criminals and start equipping the Ghana police so that they can protect us better, so that they'll stop kidnapping girls, so that they'll stop doing the contract killings in this country, so that armed robbery will go to the lowest and barest minimum. But Brian Echampon, you have warned us. You are saying you are looking for undesirable things. So these hoodlums that you have equipped with the police guns, with the grenades and knives, and the bulletproofs and police cars, you said they'll be entering houses to come and look for the undesirable things. We've heard you. Thank you very much. We are here to say no to you and your bosses.
Finally, are you not impressed with the formation that the president put out yesterday?
Zero. At all. What are we talking about? What is the need for the commission in any way? Brian Echampon has actually owned up. He admitted, and it was on JoyNews when he used the word that we have not finished, we are looking for undesirable things. That's exactly, those were his words. So why are you setting up a commission? It's a state-sponsored criminals. We know them, their pictures are out, the videos are there. Why are we trying to play the ostriches? This is the taxpayers' waste of taxpayers' money. This is the same as the 77 parcels of cocaine that tend to conconte Adam President Kufuor. And Mami Lordina Georgina Wu's commission. Did we find did the conconte turn back? What happened? Zero. And so I have zero confidence in the commission. It's just fake. You ask me, it's fake commission.
Finally, what do you seek to achieve at the end of this match today? What do you want to see happen?
At the end of this match today, what we want to see happen is the justice for those who were attacked. For me, I say that I was attacked. I don't care. I've thrown it away. Oh, I was attacked in my car. About Legon. And the kind of things they were saying, they were really out for some of us. And one even opened the door, was a car. They were trying to drag me out of my moving car. And they were men, bunch of men. I told them that you can only attack in group. And they were led by Hawakum Singh. So they can only attack in group. That's all that you people can do. So all that we are saying at the end of this is that there should be justice for the blood that has been shed on the soil of Ayawa West program. The president with immediate effect should disband that terrorist group that he is using the police armory to arm them, to turn on we the citizenry. So that's all that we are saying, that we want peace going forward.
So you heard that the women's organizer of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, as you can see, it appears that they are all geared up and they are all ready for this demonstration to happen. So it looks like we're going to be using one route. They're going to be going to the Interior Ministry, the police headquarters, and also finally to the Flagstaff House. I am trying again to see if we can get the convener of this group to finally tell us what exactly we should expect and where this demonstration would end. We know that it's going to end at the Flagstaff House, but what we don't want to know the details. I'm going to try and get close to see if I can get a word or two from Bernard. Well, I have spotted him, but it looks like the media has taken over and I'm trying to get them. But I'm going to get closer to them and see if I can get a word from him.
But the other way around.
we want to submit a petition to the president and not the other way around. So we cannot go and stand at any crossroad and ask any of the three or all the three to come and meet us at our chosen destination to take a petition. So that was a non-starter and we could not work with that. Eventually, instead of coming out to apologize that they did wrong, they waited till later in the evening when they sent junior police officers to call me to tell me that they were now ready to abide by our designated route. So I had to call the regional commander himself, and he said that after our letter, they had nothing more to do than to comply with our request. So I thanked him, and so we are here. This morning, just a few moments ago, ACP Kwesi Ofori has just come to tell me that they have put police at the densely populated areas so as to ensure that there is no problem whatsoever on the route. So we commend the police for now rising up to their professionalism. We also pick up signal that some hoodlums will want to infiltrate us so as to cause confusion. We have alerted the police to that. There are other security persons who are here and they are monitoring the situation. And if they identify any of such persons, we will simply hand the person over to the police so that the law will take its place. But personally, I am overjoyed because after all the impediments that the police put in, I thought that I would be the only one here. But seeing these number of people that are here, I can tell you that the people of Ghana will not allow President Akufo-Addo to constitute any charade of a commission in order to exonerate people, knowing very well that once you set up a commission of inquiry, when the commission finishes its work, the persons that appear as witnesses before the commission cannot be prosecuted any longer. The case of Roku Brobe and others in the Ghana at 50 is evident, and this is what President Akufo-Addo wants to do. I am saying that the president says his testicle is missing and he's looking for it. The testicle is with him. Brian Achampong is the testicle that caused the problem in Laubalishi. President cannot say that he did not appoint Brian Achampong. First is that Brian Achampong must go so that the people that he ordered to go and cause that mayhem will know that from now on, any order that will lead to such a dastardly act will mean that the authority that ordered them will be sacked. And that will be the beginning of sanity in our nation.
But Ben, are you not convinced of the commission being set by the president?
I'm saying that it's a charade because it was the president who quickly asked the IGP to constitute a committee. The IGP constituted a committee. A day before yesterday, the IGP expanded the committee and its remit. Just after that, Mr. President decided that no, if the IGP does a proper police inquiry, the perpetrators could be sent to court and prosecuted. He decided that against prosecution, let's set up a commission of inquiry so that when the people appear as witnesses, it means that that is the end of the matter. This is not what we are for. We are for proper justice so that those who caused this problem that has incensed the entire nation will be brought to book and justice will be done, that we will not tolerate this in our body politics again.
These demonstrations, nothing has been done. You don't hear anything from the president. Charlie, what will you do?
This is the beginning of a series of things that will happen, not only in Accra, but across the length and breadth of this country.
So I'm interested, who is going to receive this petition that you're sent to employ back to the president?
We are moving to the Ministry of Interior, from where we will deliver one, we'll go to the Inspector General of Police and deliver one, and end up at the presidency where we deliver one. There is an acting president in town. His Excellency, the Vice President, is in town. We expect him to come and receive our petition.
You described this petition as a charade. I'm interested. So what do you seek to achieve, or what do you want to see happen after this?
By now, who is it that is being investigated and the person is still occupying his office? It is only under President Akufo-Addo that when you are being investigated, you still have access to your office, you still have access to funds so that you can influence the...
Well, we already know that the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy, they are staging what they call the AAGBE demonstration, and Nancy Amefajiradosi has been at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle area and bringing to us the latest from the demonstration grounds. And already we know that leading members of the NDC, they've started trickling in, well, in their small numbers. We've already had streamed shots of General Secretary of the party, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, National Chairman Samuel Ofo-Swampofo, a number of dignitaries. And we'll try as much as possible bring you the latest feed from the ground. And we have a demonstration or a protest as it is, where security presence has been felt with beefing up of security personnel, more so of the Ghana Police Service, who have been brought in early on. Nancy Amefajiradosi spoke to the Director of Operations, the Accra Police Command, and Kwesi Ofori had been bringing to us the latest security schedule, as well as the plan for the protest or the demonstration. They are going to start from the Kwame Nkrumah interchange or circle area and go through some principal streets of the capital that have been agreed on and also approved by the police with the conveners. Bernard Mona is the main convener of the demonstration. And again, I have to tell you, the organizers, they call themselves the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy. It's the AAGBE demonstration. And we know that all this is trickled in or as a result of what was witnessed just a week ago. Here at JoyNews, we brought to you a live report and following up with detailed discussion of the brutalities that were meted out to many members of the NDC as well as some voters at the La Baoleshi area when the by-election at the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency was taking place just a week ago. Subsequently, we've had a number of instructions, especially coming from the presidency, in which the president, per the announcement by the Director of Communication at the Presidency, Eugene Ahin, that a 3-member commission of inquiry has been set up by the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to look into what happened. And we have the 3-man commission, and we have Henrietta Mensah-Bonsu, who is with the Law Faculty of the University of Ghana, and then also PK Champon, a former IGP, and is chaired by Justice Emil Short, who was one-time chair for the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Of course, the commission has its secretary in the person of a former dean of the law faculty of GIMPA, and Kofi Abuchi is a secretary. So we'll bring you a number of instructions per the terms of references of the commission, and they are supposed to look into incidents and acts and omissions that may have committed or may have been committed within the by-election. And then also we will try as much as possible to bring to you the latest from the demonstration grounds. And the Inter-Party Coalition on National Democracy, they have themed it to be the AAGBE demonstration. It's a word or a phrase coined from Ghana, which means they are killing us. It's Ghana parlance, yeah. So we'll bring you the latest on that. Well, if you're watching or following the feed from us, please make sure that you get interactive. Facebook, JoyNews on TV. We also have a Twitter handle, JoyNews on TV. Now, Johnson Esiedun Ketia of the NDC speaking.
To the public is that this government is not in the mood to find the perpetrators of these dastardly acts at Ayawaso West Wuogon. And not only that, they are doing everything possible within their power to make sure that nobody gets punished on account of the events at Ayawaso West Wuogon. Part of the orchestration was the lie that was told by the police that those perpetrators were not known, they were not deployed by the Ghana Police Service. It turned out that they came there in police vehicles. And in fact, the driver of the police vehicle was a policeman, a sitting policeman. Nobody has told Ghanaians that a police SWAT team vehicle has been stolen, and for which reason the users will not be found. Now, luckily for us, a sitting Minister of State for National Security has come to claim responsibility for deploying those thugs to go and commit those atrocities. So what else do the police and the security services need to apprehend those people? Nothing. They are unable to do that. And now, the citizens of this country are demonstrating to impress upon the police that they should do their work, to impress upon the ministers of state that they should do their work, and to impress upon the sitting president and Akufo-Addo and Bawumia that they should do their work. They've done everything possible to sabotage this march. The police tried to detect our route. We refused and indicated to them our constitutional powers. So when that failed, the last effort they made was to rush the announcement of a commission of inquiry last night. I'm sure you've heard our response. I want to repeat our response. That commission is a fake commission. Mark my words and watch my lips. It is a fake commission that has not been established according to the laws of this country. I was on the consultative assembly that put together the constitution. I am not a lawyer, but I know what we have written. A commission of inquiry can only be established by the president issuing a constitutional instrument, which would have been gazetted and laid before Parliament for 21 days before it becomes law. And it is after that law has been established that nominations onto the commission can be made. The event that happened at Ayawaso West Wogon. Today is the 7th day.
Well, we lost that feed there, but it was the General Secretary, or it's the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, speaking to the media there. We found other leading members of the party, that's the NDC, and other parties, also part of the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy, AAGBE, or demonstration, starting from the Kwame Nkrumah Circle or interchange area and going through some agreed routes with the police. And subsequently, our reporter Nancy Emefajiradosi is on stream and standby to bring out the latest. Already, she has informed us that security has been beefed up, and that has been corroborated by the Director for Operations for the Accra Police Command, Kwesi Fori. And we also know that a number of police have also been brought on board to make sure that security is in check and in place for the demonstration. But we also told you that subsequently we would want to get some main discussants joining us to look at some critical issues, knowing that the president has now been confirmed, has put together a 3-member commission of inquiry. It's been set up by the president, Nadu Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It's all because the commission, as part of its terms of reference, has been given the mandate to look into the incident that were recorded a week ago that resulted in brutalities being meted out to some individuals and some known NDC members and sympathizers at the La Baleshi polling stations. And as we have it, during the by-election at the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. And following that, we're going to have Martin Pebu on the line. But let's go back to the demonstration grounds. Johnson Esiedun Ketia, who is the General Secretary of the NDC, speaking.
The powers of a commission to subpoena witnesses. The witnesses can go to court and say that this is an improperly established commission, so we will appear before it. If they finish and they produce their report, and based upon their report, anybody wants to prosecute, the accused will go to court to say that the report did not come from a proper commission, so they cannot face charges based on what that fake commission has established. By that time, MPP hopes that this anger would have died down and all the perpetrators would have gone free without any punishment. their minister, well, that minister who authorized that criminal act would have gone unpunished. And then they will continue delivering on their promise of all die be die. We will not allow it to happen. If you resist and you are killed, it's better than condoning illegality and then be killed while we are not fighting. We will fight. If they choose, they should kill all of us. History will tell us that we are martyrs and we fought for a good cause.
Okay, so we had the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson, Asiedu Nketia.
Well, so we have to bring you the latest, especially knowing that following that incident, of course, that we have the demonstration, and it is called the AAGBE demonstration that has been convened by the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy. Following that, the concerns and the criticism that have been raised, the President has set up a 3-man commission of inquiry to investigate the incidents surrounding what transpired during the by-election at the Ayawaso West Wagon. And we have legal practitioner Martin Pebu on stream to bring us his own thoughts on the setting up of the commission. My first question to you, good morning to you as you have been brought on stream. You're joining us via Skype. Johnson Asiedu Nketia is just raising a concern about the setting up of the commission by the president in itself. Usually, how is it set up? What should be the modus operandi or the steps or the processes or the procedures before a commission is well in place?
Okay, yes, Roland. The case that by the one of the moods is that a commission inquiry. That's one way of doing it. That you have to seeing it fit. Okay, the third one passed by Parliament. So I see that the point being made by Nketia, I think he has, as it was said, at of the president. Yes, it's the case that must be the president straight. The president to set up a commission. But the way it's done that, it's a bit convoluted. But you see, in law, we should look at substance rather than the say the president has.
Well, we seem to be having some bad sound from the location of Martin Pebu. We'll try and establish that contact very well. Otherwise, we just have to do it through the normal phone lines. And he was starting to give us some explanation to the concerns being raised by the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, about the steps or the procedures as laid down by the Constitution of our Republic in setting up a commission of inquiry. And we'll link up with him, but we also know that the fallout of all these incidents has resulted in the Inter-Party Coalition for National Democracy convening a protest march or a demonstration today. They have dubbed it the AAGBE demonstration, and in the Ghana parlance means that they are killing us. And we've had the occasion to speak to a number of personalities, including Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the General Secretary, the Director of Operations for the Ghana Police Accra Command, and then also a number of personalities and demonstrators as well. Martin Pebu is right back online. Good morning to you, Martin. And you're making a point about looking at the substance instead of the procedures.
Yes, Roland, yes, we should go with the substance. There are a number of Supreme Court decisions that show that it is when we are interpreting statutes, and also the court exists to do justice, substantial justice. So things like this small, a few slippages here and there should not overrate the intended goal, which is that we want to do justice to the victims and of the Ayawaso West Wagon people, and also the country at large. So let's look at the substance. But it's also not too late that they can just correct that bad phraseology, the way they didn't phrase it well. They can correct it. But by and large, it's good that the commission has been set up. Yes.
Yes, but does that mean you've answered a question about the concerns being raised as to the procedure, the gazetting? Subsequently, we know that before gazetting, you need 21 days for it to come into fruition or into force or enforceable as it is.
Yes, so that's why I said, so all that, so to the extent that it's been said, that the gazette is usually mandatory, I would look at it that way, when the recommendations have come out, then that's the one that is mandated by the Constitution. That's Article 280. That's when the Commission comes out with its recommendations, then it's mandated that, look, there must be a white paper either to accept or to reject the findings. So this one, these things, as I mentioned, the fact that once the announcement has been made and the communication has been sent out, I'm sure that the other processes will be followed through. But I know that naturally the public must be informed first, especially considering that there is so much pressure. So I should think that outcome, as soon as this was done, it was brought out into the media. That's not to say that the other processes will not be followed through. That's my understanding of it, yes. But as I mentioned, the gazetting is more mandatory, assuming when the commission is done and then there is no gazette, that's a government white paper also either indicating acceptance or rejection, then that's when constitutionally you would see it as a grave error. But when it comes to the beginning, that's the commencement of these processes, I think for that one, it can be done in due course.
Especially for the aggrieved parties, they would want to see maybe a likely prosecution of the individuals who have been found guilty in this. But on the side of the argument, and especially if you look at what the case has been when we had Charles Rakubrobe appearing before the Ghana 50 Commission, and subsequently the president or the judge saying that it's not enforceable in any criminal proceedings in court, it means that even somebody is cited by the report of this commission that has been established, that person cannot be taken to court, can he?
No, okay, so yes, Roland, you have a point there. Let me clarify a bit this way.
Please do.
What is usually done is that by the law, you won't use evidence that the witnesses have given at the commission to prosecute them. Let's repeat, you see. So if witnesses come, so let's say the persons who did the shooting and all that, they come before the commission and then they give evidence. You cannot use that evidence they have offered to now turn around to prosecute. But if independently you're able to investigate and find your own evidence, yes, that one you can prosecute. So it isn't the case that once you give evidence before the commission, there can be no prosecution whatsoever. No, that's not it. But rather, evidence that you have offered should not be that same evidence that will be taken to court to prosecute you. No, because you see, in order to motivate people to cooperate with the commission and the rest, they have to be assured that things that they have come to give to the commission to help go into the bottom of the matter, the investigation, should not then be used against them subsequently. You see, because it's like a man comes to help you do a job, and then subsequently you turn around and use what he has brought you against him. Obviously, that's like something like, for lack of a better term, I would say bad faith, sort of, you see. So that is the whole gamut of the protection. That evidence they have given is not what you use against them. I subsequently, you can establish through independent investigations, other evidence. So even let's say the person comes and gives some evidence and they further on, let's say, a crime of, let's say, causing harm. And then subsequently do your own investigation. You also even find that there was, let's say, threat of death and the rest independently. You cannot, the law doesn't bar you from prosecuting for those offenses. And then also, let's come to this other thing. When the commission starts its work, when it comes up with recommendations and all that, they have the effect of a judgment of a high court. So let's not take it lightly. They have the effect of the judgment of a high court. That is after 6 months. So let's say when they finish today, they count 6 months, and then they have the effect. So that is depending on the white paper that the government uses. That is to say, if the government accepts it, then that is it. So after 6 months, they send there as a judgment of the High Court. The government disputes it and the rest, then that's another kettle of fish. You see. So
okay, in a hypothetical situation, and we've seen commissions of inquiry before. We have the Okujeto Commission, especially looking into the May 9 Accra Sports Stadium disaster, and subsequently, I'm just talking about commissions of inquiry that have been reported post the millennium, and you tend to look at the recommendations. Can a commission of inquiry recommend a prosecution of any of the parties or protagonists or antagonists in a certain situation they are looking into?
Exactly. And it's good you brought up the Okujeto Commission. They recommended at that time that the officers be prosecuted. Yes, it's in there. I remember I've looked at that report a number of times because they found that the officers just went way beyond their powers. They used excessive force in circumstances that were unjustified. Of course, there were other issues about poor capacity of the police when it comes to crowd control and the rest. Those ones too, the commission made recommendations for improving the capacity. But the commission did recommend that certain officers be prosecuted at the time. So you say, then it means that when they say prosecute, it means that, of course, now you go and do further investigations and all that, but you don't use evidence that they have given you. And don't even forget, it's not the case that every person who appears before the commission would come and voluntarily give evidence that even goes against him, that kind of incrimination. No.
Right.
In the Okujeto report, you find what happened. Some of the police officers who came, they didn't cooperate. The report has it that well, that's what the report is. They lied. That's the way, okay, for lack of a better, let's say, the commission found that they didn't cooperate, because I don't want to use the word lie. The commission was unimpressed with a lot of the officers who appeared before them. The commission stated that they appeared to be covering up. You see, I should think that is why, that is one of the reasons why the commission thought that, look, they should be prosecuted. So the point I'm making is that let's not take it that it is given that everybody who comes to the commission is coming with a clean heart to make a clean breast of everything that happens. No.
Yeah.
Usually, suspects and accused persons are given to hide information. Okay? Yes, they may not willingly do. So let's not just look at it as a one-street affair, that everybody is coming to give a clean breast of the incident. No. And
now, I have looked through that report and read it over the years and also observed that many of the individuals that were cited and that the report said their institutions could take up the position of trying to either prosecute or punish them. Those actions by those said institutions were not taken, especially the police, when it comes to all the things related to that. Now, could it also be hypothetically that the evidence that could be given by certain individuals or could be in possession of the commission could also be the same plain evidence that has been displayed in the media, etc. And once they have been put before or laid before the commission, could not be admissible subsequently after the commission has undertaken its work?
Now, This is here.
You get my question?
Yes, I understand. Here, I should think that because if the commission obtains this information independently, then when those persons come and proffer the same evidence, it will not inure to their benefit as the ones who brought the information to the commission. No.
Okay.
I'm aware that
all right,
one of the
Mr. Martin Pebu, while we're speaking to you, this is a very important subject that you're speaking to us about, especially related to the three-man commission set up by the president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And relatedly, we also know that the demonstration is taking place. So we'll let you just hang up your phone onto your cradle for the meantime. And we'll call you again. Let's go back to the demonstration ground. Nancy Mefa-Jadosi has cameras on Johnson Esiedun Ketia, who had been addressing the media.
Pardon me? My name is Hajia Fatima from Nanton constituency, Tamale Northern region. Yes, please. I came from all the way from Tamale to support my party, NDC.
Why did you decide to come all the way?
The NPP people, they are trying to assault us, and we are not taking it 2020. Yes. Pardon me?
What do you want to see happen?
You said?
What do you want to see happen after this month?
Inshallah, they should change their IGP. Yes. Yes. Thank you. All right. We go show Nana 2020. We go show Nana 20. Nana Eda Jem Beba Ubeti Bobo Li Bobo. Semusrio Eda Jem Beba Ubeti Bobo Li Bobo. 2020. Good for good.
And we were having a conversation on the terms of reference as given by the president to the Commission of Inquiry. It's a three-member commission. It has as chair Justice Emil Short, Henry Tamenta Bonso with the Faculty of Law, the University of Ghana, and also PK Champon, a former IGP, also as a member, and Secretary Kofi Abuchi, who is a former dean of the Law Faculty of GIMPA, but also a paralegal practitioner. I'm talking about paralegal practitioner. Martin Pebu is also a paralegal practitioner, had been helping us. Let me just rephrase my question to you, Martin. It's about the evidence that will be given to the commission, or will be before the commission. And when the commission completes its work, subsequently we've had a report, a white paper by government, etc. Can that sort of evidence be taken on by somebody individually, and not what has been before the commission, but if it's the same evidence sort of that has been also put before the commission, to also start some action in court?
Okay. Yes. So once you can prove that you also obtain the evidence independently, in law, nothing stops you from using same.
What if it's the same source?
The same, yes. So bottom line is that it must not be evidence that the witnesses, the persons who came before the commission, first brought to the attention of the commission. So let's say discovering it. Let me use the word discovery to make it easier. Who first discovered it? If the witnesses who came to the commission were not the first to discover it, they cannot claim that immunity that they brought it. So like Roland, as I said, monitoring Joy FM over the weekend, Sunday edition or so, I heard you were the one who brought videoed one of the incidents. So let's deny public knowledge that Roland Walker videoed this incident. So if one of the witnesses comes before the commission and professes the video that Roland Walker made, he cannot claim immunity based upon it because it's already public knowledge that it was videoed by another person. So their immunity would cover what they discovered or what they first bring to the commission, something that no other person has brought to the attention of the commission. You say, yes. So, and also something that they did. So it didn't come from them. It's already public knowledge that some of the videos were made by certain persons. So those videos, no. But rather, when they come before the commission, information that they first volunteer, first brings to the attention of the commission, then they can claim, let me call it, for lack of a better word, their own. So something like intellectual property. That's not, it's just to use analogies for us to understand. So something that comes from them the first time to the attention of the commission, that they can claim. But for any information, videos, and the rest that other persons have already made and are claiming intellectual property rights on those, these witnesses cannot claim those. You say, yes. So we must make that distinction. Otherwise, then it means that everybody, in order to get immunity, will just gather all the information out there in the public domain, take it to the commission, in the hope that once it's gone, taking those to the commission, then he knows that that's the end of the road for his prosecution, meaning that he doesn't stand any risk of future prosecution. No, the law will not be used in that manner. Otherwise, it will be defeated.
All right.
Okay.
Now, the last question before we let you go. We've had concerns being raised about which one would have given some gratification quickly to those who are aggrieved, etc. Was it a committee or a commission? What's your own take on this based on your experiences as a lawyer?
Good. Roland, by and large, I will go with the commission approach because you know that, look, the police service that was going to investigate this incident is largely controlled by the executive. Look, the president, if you open the CI 75, that is the police service regulation, CI 76, sorry, that's the police service regulation, okay, you would find that the president is the chief disciplinary officer of the police service. So, and you also know that, of course, it's the president who appoints the IG. Okay, so what I'm saying is that the president looms large. The executive, and when we say executive, it's largely the president, even by the constitution. So the president looms large in the setup of the police. So, and by extension, that would give the notion that the police couldn't be independent. And you see, Brian Sampson came out and said he deployed those men. They are asking the ordinary police to investigate involving a minister of national security who obviously is close to the president and all that. So you see that when it turns like that, it's in the perception. So all I'm talking about is perception. I'm not saying that, in fact, an independent, full and impartial job couldn't have been done by the police. No, that's not how we are arguing.
All right.
We are taking it, looking at the structure, looking at the setup. I think that Professor Mensa Bonsu and the Short and the rest, they have what it takes. I think there's more confidence in this setup. And also, let's not forget, it's not as if the commission is just going to whitewash what has happened. No, these are credible people. And when they make findings, they have the effect of the judgment of the High Court. You say, yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Martin Pebu, legal practitioner, helping us to get insight into the role of the commission and what we should be expecting in a hypothetical situation. And related to this commission that has been set up, is a three-man commission or a three-member commission, and has Kofi Abochi, a former dean of law faculty, Gimpa, and also a paralegal practitioner as secretary. But let's also just ask one question of somebody who has great experience in police administration, and Commissioner of Police Bright Odro is a former head of the CID in Accra, director for CID. Good morning to you, Mr. Bright Odro.
Good morning.
Great. I just want to ask you a question. There's been this confusion an argument, especially on social media and also coming from some notable...
Could you raise your voice a little?
Okay, I'm speaking on top of my voice, but again, can you hear me clearly?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so there's this argument that's been made out there that a police, a committee composite or put together by the police would have done speedy work and more justiciable work than a commission. And I want to just get some experience from you. What do you think on the subject?
Well, I think the commission that has been set up to look into this, I think it's better for me. That is my personal opinion. You know, we had policemen also at Bawaleshi who stood helpless while this carnage, or let me say, this incident occurred. And if you should ask the police to investigate, what confidence will they have to investigate a minister who had said that he ordered these people to go there? I mean, so for me, I think it's better for a commission. Look at the membership of the commission. Renowned personalities, Emily Short, Professor Mensa Bonsu, Patrick Echampong. I think they will leave above Nathan and then be able to do a very good job. For police, if we had composed some police officers, well, but would the public even accept the report? So that is something that I have also been thinking of. It's better for an independent body to be set up to look into this. And then if they recommend some punishment or they recommend prosecution, then we will follow up from there.
Well, I told you I'll ask you one question, but I think your response is, well, let me ask you one more, the last one. If the police were to put together a committee, what procedure would have been used and how would they have undertaken its work?
I don't know who would have put up the committee. If it is government, I don't know. But the police also said that they were investigating. And as I said earlier, who were they going to investigate? The minister. I'm sure if you are to investigate, it is the minister who said that he composed the team or he asked those guys to go there and do whatever they did. Were they going to call the minister first? Or who are they going to investigate? I believe the minister would also be called to be investigated, and then he would have given the lead as to who then we should question first. But would they have a minister responsible for national security? The police, it's a bit dicey.
Okay, why is that impossible, a hindrance, so to speak, in resulting in some equity?
Because he is the minister of state in charge of security, and I'm sure the police is also under the Minister for National Security, even though technically we are also under the Minister of Interior. Ghana is Ghana, and investigating a whole minister, I think, will create some problems for the police.
Like what problems? I don't understand. You are the police. You've been mandated by the Constitution to be responsible for such actions. And based on your experience, what would have been the hindrances?
Having the clout to do so is the problem. Mm-hmm. Because we wouldn't expect the IGP to lead the investigation team. Maybe the Director General CID and some officers. They could come out with a report after investigation. But the point is that even calling the minister and then, I mean, it's a bit dicey. I think the composition of the commission is quite okay. People who have lived, who have made their mark, and then who command respect in society. And
well, Mr. Odru, I get your point, but I'm saying that if, let's say, you were in active service as head of CID and you were asked to lead a committee, what would have prevented you from summoning the minister under which you operate?
We will summon the minister, we will question the minister, we will investigate, but he belongs to the executive. And then maybe you have some interferences here and there. You see, because we are also part of the let's say, the executive. And then if we have interferences from there, we will not be able to do a very good job. I mean, you get me. We can investigate, we can go ahead, we can do a very good job. But once we are under we can have some interference. It happens now and then. So it's not quite easy. We could have the independence to investigate. But who knows who will call you and then ask you to do this or that and so on.
So you're saying the independence of the police is only on paper, but in the workings itself.
You know, a lot of things happen on the quiet. You may not know. So
I don't know. That's why I want you to tell me.
Yeah, a lot of things happen on the quiet. You may do a good job. Maybe at the end of the day, they will tell you, they will tell you, or they will transfer you, they will do this, they will do that, and so on and so forth. But it happens. I'm not saying that it's happening now, but it used to happen.
I see. Thank you very much. And COP Bright Odro is a former director for the police CID.